mailbox. I'll fix it later. Here. Our idiot snowplow driver that plows our road in the wintertime about 2 years ago has run over our mailbox, and since then he's probably run over it, I don't know, 3-4 more times. The mailbox is kind of on the end of its life anyway. The post is all rotted out, and just from being run over so many times it doesn't close right, it's all off-centered. So I figured I'd take this opportunity to put a new mailbox in. Okay, not too many tools needed. You'll need a spade, or you can use a post hole digger, which is a lot easier, but either one will work. You'll need a level, either a screwdriver or a drill or an impact, some screws or nails, a tape measure. A speed square isn't necessary, but it will definitely make your life a little easier. And you also need a skill saw. The miter saw isn't necessary, but it'll make the angles on the cuts a lot easier. 5-gallon bucket for water is also helpful to have to mix concrete with. The last thing you need is either a hammer and chisel, or better yet, you can do a jigsaw or a sawzall. Not too many materials needed. You'll need a 4x4x10. I'm using treated lumber. And then you'll need one small piece of either 3/4 inch plywood or some type of Firring strip, and that will go, it'll sandwich the 4x4 and it'll give you something to mount the mailbox to. And then you can do a 60 or 80 pound bag of quicrete or similar. You need your mailbox, of course, and then if you're adding numbers, you'll need some sort of numbers or a number kit. It's about 1 o'clock here. My mailman comes around 2 o'clock usually, so I'm going to try and get this done before he gets there. Okay, our first section is going to be 32 inches, and this is going to be for our support that holds the mailbox up. And then the next section is going to be 12 inches. And that should leave you with just over 6 feet. Mine is about 76.5 left. Go ahead and cut those 2 pieces. Okay, and then we're going to do an angle on the 32-inch section. Okay, that's what we're going for. Okay, and then on our 12-inch piece, we're going to want 2 miters cut this way. For your post, you can just leave this cut flat at the top if you want. I'm going to do a little design in mine just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. Okay, so I laid it out rough just so you can kind of get an idea of where we're at here. So the next thing we need to do is notch out these 2 pieces to get these to overlap and make it stronger. So check the picture that I will enclose right now. Some mailbox requirements are different in different cities and different states. The picture that I'm enclosing is from the United States Postal Service, and they require that your post be at least 2 feet in the ground, 42 inches off of your curb. So if you're not off of a curb, obviously your post will need to be shorter than that. That's why the bottom is longer. You can adjust it to however you want to get that 2 feet under the ground and still be the right height. So on your long post, you're going to want to mark your first mark at 63 and the next one at 66 3/4. This obviously will need to be adjusted if your mailbox is taller, but this one is a standard size mailbox. And then we can put an X here because that's going to come out. And then this one you can flip over if you put this miter on here. And from the back, your measurement should be 9.5 and 13. And then this will be notched out as well. Okay, so we'll do the shorter one first that goes under the mailbox. Here's your marks for what needs to be cut out. So on this side right here, we're going to roll it this way, and we're going to mark halfway down with a tape measure, and we're going to put a mark there. We're going to set the depth of the blade on the skill saw to cut down to that mark. So that's what we're going for right there. You're doing this with a chisel. Chisel here, tap down. And if you have a jigsaw or a sawdust. Here's the true test. Like a glove. And the kids have been anxiously awaiting the use of power tools, so now that it's safe, I'm going to let them put these screws in.
Okay, that looks strong enough, Dad.
Now we're going to do this under support. Alright, the next thing we need to do is fill this dead space on both sides, because this is going to be sitting on a post. You're going to have roughly that much room on both sides. It gives you an area to nail or screw into this. So most of them on the standard size would be 2 thicknesses of 2x4s. So what I'm going to do is I had already cut this. This is 18.5 inches to fill in this spot this way. So I'm going to stick this in here, and then I'm just going to take a pencil and trace this. So on mine it's about 7/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to cut this piece out and keep these 2 pieces. We're going to nail these 2 pieces on this support up here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and ideally our mailbox is just going to slide right over this. Alright, it took some convincing, but we got it on there. Now we just need to put screws on all the sides to hold it on, and we're ready to go out and test fit it in the hole. So the post office requires that the bottom of the mailbox be 41 to 45 inches off of the street level. So if you have a curb, you have to take that into account. It's actually the street level, not the ground level with your curb. I live in a rural area, so there's no curbs, so mine can be 41 to 45 inches just off the ground. But you have to make sure that your post is at least 2 feet under the ground. So we're going to go test fit it now. Uh-oh, I better hurry. He's around in the corner. I better get it together. Just in time. Well, now that this new one's back in, this old mailbox and I have some unfinished business. to take care of. This is Retired at 40. Remind you to live life simple. I'll catch you next time.